Welcome to the Joseph Apartment Talk Show. Today's episode is sponsored by Chris Miller of Specialized Wealth Management. Thank you, Chris, for sponsoring the show. I've got some great guests today. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about how you can maximize your management and your portfolio. I'm going to start with Rich Trujillo, the legendary insurance rep to the stars. Rich, what's going on in the world of insurance for my apartment clients?
Well, good morning, everybody. The things aren't really changing, but things are changing. The biggest thing is the replacement cost due to the product with inventory, with raw materials, with labor. So that's all going up. So make sure that your policies have replacement cost endorsement and make sure that it's factored in the correct way. A lot of things to say, but I'm just going to keep it real simple. For all your apartment owners' insurance needs, call on somebody that you think you can trust.
So if you have an insurance package, you may want to take a look at it, get a hold of Rich. He can analyze it for you at no charge and give you his opinion on where you can save money. But most importantly, Rich, I think to make sure that your replacement costs are in line, you don't want to get stuck with a policy that will replace it based on 1963 values.
And that happens a lot if you're not up to date.
Our next guest is Dave Jankowski. Dave is an investor. He's a client of mine. He's bought several apartment buildings from me. I just pulled him off the street and said, Dave, tell us what's going on. So Dave, from your point of view, can you tell my clients what are buyers looking for? What are investors looking for? And as a manager of an owner of multiple properties, what's your overview of the market? Talk about anything you want to.
Yeah, the market overall is very strong. The rental market's very strong. The investment market's very strong. The financial debt markets are very strong. Basically, investors are just looking for a reasonable return on their investment on a cash flow basis. So the variables that we consider are purchase price, renovation cost, rent that we can get. Those are the main things we look for. We generally look to try to get about a 5 to 5.5% return on our money after we get the building kind of stabilized and renovated and rented up at market rents.
You bought what, 30, 40 properties over the years?
Yeah, at least that many. Yeah.
So if you want to get hold of Dave, he may end up buying your property. Don't contact Dave, contact me. Anyway, our next guest is Chris Miller, the sponsor of today's show. And Chris has been very helpful with me in providing alternatives to my clients. Most clients think they're stuck with either selling and doing a 1031 and getting into something else, or selling and paying capital gains taxes. But Chris has been very helpful in reaching out to my clients and coaching them on the third alternative, which is to sell and do a 1031 exchange into something that's called a Delaware Statutory Trust. So what's going on in that world, Chris?
Thanks, Jim. So, as Jim said, I do partial interest properties. So I show investors how they can sometimes get their money out of California and invest in, say, part of a 300-unit apartment complex in Dallas or part of a Walgreens out in the Atlanta suburbs in Georgia. So doing this, we can maybe sell close to the top of the wave here in California and buy in an area that looks more like Orange County did back in 1985. It's ready for explosive growth. So most of my properties are out of state because what my investors are looking for is good cash flow. They're looking to retire from active management and sit back and collect checks. And we find we can give higher income buying out of state with lower prices. I get a question a lot, what do you have in California? And my answer is usually nothing, because we're looking for good deals. And it's tough to find good deals here in California. We actually do right now have a portfolio of medical properties in Southern California that's available, which is generating a lot of interest because, again, people love having properties that are close by, but we've got some real attractive alternatives elsewhere in the country as well. We've got a good apartment complex in Atlanta. We've got a great apartment complex in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., Loudoun County, Virginia, which is the richest county in the United States, believe it or not, because of all the government workers. So that's what we're working on right now.
Well, he sponsors the show. He thinks he can hog the whole show. Unbelievable.
That's right.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
My money's worth.
And Dean, with our credit correcting department, Dean has been very good in getting hold of tenants that may not qualify, and right now that may not be an issue because tenants are dime a dozen. When the market turns and you're looking for tenants, they're good tenants, but they have some dings, maybe Dean can help your tenants credit.
Yes, good morning. I'm Dean with Pacific West Credit. We're a licensed credit repair company. And there's 3 bureaus that everybody talks about, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. But there is a 4th one that creates a lot of aggravation for tenants trying to move to a new place, and that's called Nexus Lexus. And they hold public records and judgments and evictions. So if you have a question about Nexus Lexus, feel free to call me. It's a big deal because it may not show up on your 3 bureaus, but it will show up on Nexus Lexus, and it can prevent a deal or kill a deal. My cell number is 714-323-5538, 714-323-5538.
If you want to get a hold of my prized investor buyer, contact me at 562-236-0088, Dave Jankowski. How do we get a hold of you, Rich?
714-522-0081.
And Chris?
You can reach me toll free at 877-313-1868, or you can look at my website, which is chrismiller1031.com.
We do this weekly video and we send it out to 30,000 apartment owners. Our last Facebook got 800 views. So we're getting the word out. If you have any questions on managing your apartment building or buying an apartment building or selling your apartment building, give me a call, 562-236-0088. Thanks for watching.